Hey everyone. Hey. Let me lower this. Good morning, everybody. So I just want to put it out there really quick. I know the angle and the lighting is really bad right now. I have it like this for a reason. Just so you guys know, I'm on like an hour of sleep. I got home from work a little bit after 5, and then I tried to go to sleep. And then my daughter woke me up and said she had a lash appointment. The birthday girl has a lash appointment right now. And I was like, oh shit, I can squeeze a live in right now. So I got up, brushed my teeth, put the angle up, and put the ring light way over there. So here we are. But this is dedication right here, just so you guys know who needs sleep when we got this case that we are all invested in. And I have not listened to the news press, just so you guys know. I haven't listened to it, so I'm going to listen to it for the first time with you guys. I'm sure most of you have listened to it already. I know a lot of people are live right now with it. So whoever chooses my channel to watch it with, thank you so much. I didn't even send any mods. I think I only told Scott because I seen him message me, but no one knows I'm even live right now. So we shall see who gets here. So let me say hi to some of you. Hey, Sarah, thank you for being here. And then Carly, thank you for being here. And then Jen, thank you for being here. Now we are going to watch the presser. I'm not going to interrupt it. I'm going to let it play all the way through. And then we're going to listen to all the 911 calls. Now, as far as the 911 calls, those I do know. I have my notes for those, especially Dad's 911 call. And I see people are trying to send me new stuff this morning. So we're going to just go through it all together. So again, thank you guys for being here, and let's kind of just get this started. I'm going to mute really quick. I need a sip of coffee, you guys. So give me 1 second. That first sip of coffee, it's always like the best, just the best. It's so warm. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Grateful Ed. Good morning, Anna D. Allison. Amanda is a suspect, she says in her opinion. Crazy Mama. Little Wing. I thought it said Little Wayne. I was like, okay, hey, Little Wayne up in my chat, but it says Little Wing. I plead the fifth. Crazy Mama, thank you for the happy birthday to my daughter. I will let her know. Yeah, she's getting her lashes done this morning. So I thought, and then when she gets home, she'll have to change and then go to school she has like half a class today, not like all day classes. So I was like, let me get in here with you guys. So let me know in chat, have you guys watched this presser? Put a 1 if you have, a 2 if you haven't. I started watching it this morning when I was brushing my teeth, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to watch it with you guys, and I'll give you guys my honest opinion with everything. So I honestly have no idea what they're about to say. So a 1 if you've seen it, a 2 if you have not. Carly says she's watched half of it. She just woke up. Well, girl, me too. Like literally, I just woke up and I felt lost. You know when you don't get enough sleep, when you wake up and you feel lost? You're like, oh my gosh. Like you think you're late for work or something and you're not even working. That's how I felt this morning. And I'm talking kind of low because it's still kind of quiet right now. So Rose says she was waiting for me. Well, thanks, Rose. I'm going to watch it with you. Chris says a 1. Little Wing says a 2. Tiki says 1. Liz 2. And then let me see. Jen says 2. Sarah a 1. Grateful Ed a 2. And Vicky Lane a 1. Hey, Junie. She says 2. Jen says 1. I plead the fifth. 2. And Rose 2. All right. Well, let's get started and just watch it together. Let me get that off the screen, you guys. Again, I'm going to let it play all the way through. I'm not going to interrupt it. If you have earphones, great. I didn't have time to download it and up the volume or anything like that, so I do apologize, but I think the volume's okay. So again, we're going to watch it together. Let me move this around so we have a bigger full screen of it. And I will be in chat. And yeah, let's do it.
Where we are to date on the investigation. The results of the autopsy are still pending. The results regarding the analysis of the items we've submitted to the crime lab are still pending. We are now just beginning to get responses to the search warrants and the subpoenas in the case to date. We can tell you that we have received additional footage from a security camera from a business near the Family Dollar store. That additional footage shows us that Deborah Collier walked out of the Family Dollar store at 3:09, got into her van, and remained in her van in the parking lot for 10 minutes before leaving the parking lot and heading south on Georgia 15, Highway 441, US 23. This tells us that the time frame is actually narrowed a little further for this case to begin at 3:19 p.m. on Saturday, September 10th, and ending at 12:44 Sunday, September 11th, the time of the discovery. Please understand that this case is very complex in nature and has a lot of questions and unknowns that aren't found in a typical death investigation. It is going to take significantly more time than the 19 days that have passed since the discovery to solve this crime. We also want you to know that we are working diligently to solve this case. We are trying to obtain as much information as possible so that we can put together facts and evidence to support a motive and also to identify a person or persons of interest. At this time, I'd like to call up lead investigator George Kaysen to assist with answering the questions that you have.
First of all, I want to thank everyone for being here and being a part of this. Hopefully we'll be able to answer some questions and give y'all some insight of where we're at and kind of what we're dealing with. First off, I want to start off by saying we have received a lot of questions that y'all have sent in. Some of these questions, the information that is pertaining to those questions is very sensitive information. We will try to answer them to the best that we can, but there will be information that we need to retain just for the simple fact of it being very sensitive, and we don't want our potential persons of interest to be able to get a hold of this information. Just that way it does not jeopardize the furtherance of our investigation. As far as some of these questions that were asked, I'm going to kind of go through a list of them and try to give answers as best as possible to you. One of the first questions that was asked is, can you confirm the Venmo message from the daughter, from mom to daughter was sent to mom's phone? We're still waiting more information that we have requested to confirm or deny where the Venmo was sent from, but we can confirm that Amanda did receive the Venmo. She did receive money. That much we do know right now. Continuing on, our next question was, are you in possession of Collier's cell phone and where was it found? Yes, we are in possession of that cell phone. We do have it in evidence, and it was located at the crime scene. The next question that was asked was, what was Collier's cause of death? And as Colonel Kogod mentioned, we are still awaiting the full report from the medical examiner's office. Once that comes in, we will absolutely update everyone on those findings. What records and data have we analyzed? Due to that being sensitive information, much as the disclaimer that I gave when I first stepped up here, we don't want to reveal any information that could possibly be potentially jeopardize our investigation where our suspects will get that information. There was a question about Deborah's phone records. We have served multiple search warrants on multiple different cell phone carriers. We are working with them to get all pertinent data from those devices and from those carriers. So hopefully we'll be able to develop more of a timeline, a better timeline, and hopefully be able to find out more information about what exactly happened. Inclusion of family members, a question was related to that. is that, right now, we have not ruled anyone out at this point. We have ever developing leads and are gradually having information that we have requested come in. So we're still in the process of trying to find persons or person of interest. And as that information starts to trickle in, it will actually help us to develop more information for y'all to have. We're continuing to investigate Deb's activities from September 10th through to September 11th, which is also going back to the timeline. We're gradually just getting more information in. We want to know just as much as anyone else does, and we're working, as Colonel Kobach said, we're working diligently. We've lost a lot of sleep, as such should be, in this investigation. We've devoted a lot of time to this investigation. There was a question about what search warrants have been executed. As far as the search warrants that we have done, again, we cannot give that information out just for the simple fact that it may jeopardize and give the information out to possible potential persons of interest. And we don't want to basically show our hand before we have facts. And as Colonel Kobach said, a couple other questions that were kind of obtained as far as Deborah's timeline. We have obtained additional footage from the parking lot, as he described, where she is in her 2022 Chrysler Pacifica van in the parking lot of the Family Dollar, which is obviously joined by other businesses. We've obtained additional footage and found that she stayed in that parking lot an additional 10 minutes. From that 10 minutes at 3:19 p.m., she leaves the parking lot and begins to head southbound on Georgia 15, which is the main highway, the 4-lane highway that connects Reagan County to Habersham. She starts traveling southbound towards Tallulah Falls, which is just inside Habersham County. We are still in the process of trying to obtain videos from other locations and other businesses along that route, and we encourage any business along that route that might have cameras, please reach out to us. Look through your video cameras and reach out to us, so that way we can have a meeting with you and see if we can kind of even narrow down our timeline even more. And as far as the timeline, the last time we know that she was alive was at 3:19, because we see her in that vehicle leaving the parking lot, heading southbound on Georgia 15. There was a question about our thoughts of this being a homicide. We have not changed our thoughts about this being a homicide. We're still treating this as a murder investigation, and we will not change that. We will diligently and continuously work day and night trying to solve this case and try to bring justice to Ms. Collier and her family. A lot of the questions we got are kind of repeat, so if I do repeat some of these answers, I do apologize, but I'm trying to go through and trying to hit every question that was given to us. We're, again, going back to the cell phone providers and search warrants we've done. We're working with multiple different cell phone providers to obtain necessary information. All we know right now, as far as the Venmo message, is that, yes, it was sent to Amanda. There was a question in there as far as, do we know where the money is now? No, we don't. For the simple fact that we are still obtaining information when it was sent, where it was sent, what device it was sent from. We're still trying to obtain that information right now.
I have a question back, going back to what you were saying about the death and why you're confident that this is a homicide. Was there any signs of trauma to the body that clearly indicated that this was a homicide?
The only thing we know as of right now is the burns of the body. We're still waiting for the absolute full report from the medical examiner's office. But nonetheless, because of the burns, we're still treating this like a murder. We're trying to investigate it as such, and we won't deter from that just because we're going to treat it like that investigation to get all further information.
And in the statement, it says, let's see, that this was, you're clear that this was a random act of violence. Generally speaking, if I say something is a random, was a random act of violence.
Let me stop right there. Where did that statement come from?
It's,
It was not a random act.
not, okay, my apologies. Okay, what, meaning that it was not a, could you be more specific? Because I don't want to put words in your mouth. What does that mean? Does that mean someone knew someone?
No, what that means at this point is there is no information. There is no information or evidence to this point that shows that this was something random, that there was something that was out, that was not from somebody that she either knew or somebody who she had some association with. That's what we're seeing at this time. So based on that information, we do not believe that this is a random act of violence. We do not believe that this is the act of a serial killer. We believe that this act was deliberate and personal.
Yeah, that's what
Yes, sir. Michael Ruiz from Fox News Digital. I'm just curious if Debbie's purse was recovered at the scene.
Yes, it was. We do have that in evidence, and it was recovered from the crime scene.
Is that another purse than the one that was said to be left at her home?
That we're not aware of. We're still working on that, but we do know for a fact the video that was released of her being in the Family Dollar, that purse was found at the crime scene and is in evidence.
And one other question there is there anyone in that area that she is acquainted with? Is there a reason she would go up there dressed in her Bulldogs jersey on game day and drive an hour?
We're still trying to work with that. Again, like I said, as far as some of the search warrants and some of the follow-ups that we're doing, we're trying to obtain that information to see if she has any connections. If anyone, and Wes, one thing too, I'm glad you asked that. If anyone does have any kind of contact, we encourage the public as well. If anyone had contact with Deborah Collier during that time frame, as far as from September 9th all the way through September 11th, specifically around the time frame of 3/19 to Sunday when the body was found, if anyone had any contact or might have seen or talked to her, please, we encourage you to come forward and speak.
Investigator Case and Joy Priscilla Habersham. You mentioned that she headed south on Highway 115 after leaving the Family Dollar store. Did the school zone cameras in Tallulah Falls School pick up her departure?
Absolutely. And actually, I'm glad you asked that. I do have something that we're going to make readily available for y'all when we're done with this press conference. We do have in our possession, this is an actual photograph from the Tallulah Falls school cameras. She was seen traveling northbound on Georgia 15, just north of our crime scene there, which is just south of Victory Home Lane. This is a picture of her traveling northbound on Georgia 15, traveling through these cameras at 2:17 p.m. on Saturday. Once we're done with this, I will actually tape it up here on the wall, so that way anyone and everyone can come up here and get a better picture of it, because I understand it's hard to see from here. So once we're done, you can come up and get a better picture.
Did you see her coming back southbound?
We have not. We have been in coordination with Chief Elrod from the Tallulah Falls Police Department. She has spent countless sleepless nights looking through cameras. And that being one of the most heavily trafficked roads in Northeast Georgia, especially for travel towards the North Carolina mountains, there's probably in the upwards of 150 to 160,000 cars that come through there. So they are still looking through to see if we can find her coming back south.
I got a question about the van while we're on the topic. So according to the original report was sent out, the van was seen by Tallulah Falls officers sitting there on the side of the road around 5 o'clock Saturday. And of course, when you all got there, the van was there on Sunday.
Correct.
Is it y'all's impression that the van was there that entire time, from 5 o'clock till?
Well, obviously, from our timeline, we know it wasn't there the entire time.
It was not there?
So
From 5 p.m. Saturday, it was
5 p.m. Saturday.
to 11-ish, 12-ish when you guys got there Sunday. Did it ever leave that location?
Now that we're not aware of.
Okay.
When you said the 5 o'clock thing, I didn't know if you were talking about Friday. Friday, but
No,
as
Saturday.
far as the timeline, the only times we can establish as far as that van is there is, that we're still getting trickling information. I think there was another question in here, if there was any tips from the community that have helped us out. Yes, because it has helped us narrow down timelines. We're still following up to see if we can actually get, confirmation of this van being there at certain times. But as of right now, from what we know, that van was there at the crime scene on Sunday is what we can confirm. Now, as far as her time getting back to the crime scene, we cannot confirm that. We're still working on leads and trying to confirm that information.
During the time that she was, you say she was
What's going on here? Hold on. Hold on. What's going on? What happened? Did it just boot me out? Oh my gosh. Hold on, guys. Where were we? Hold on. Was that it? No, that was not it.
Yes, sir. Michael Ruiz from Fox News Digital. I'm just curious if Debbie's purse was recovered at the scene.
Hold on. Sorry, guys.
It's hard to see.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it right here. Sorry, I was messing with Facebook and I think I kicked it out.
Did you see her coming back southbound?
We have not. We have been in coordination with, Chief Elrod from the Tulsa Falls Police Department. She has spent many countless sleepless nights looking through cameras. And that being one of the most heavily trafficked roads in northeast Georgia, especially for travel, towards the North Carolina mountains, there's probably in the upwards of 150 to 160,000 cars that come through there. So they are still looking through to see if we can find her coming back south.
I got a question about the van while on the topic. So according to the original report was sent out, the van was seen by Tulsa Falls officers sitting there on the side of the road around 5 o'clock Saturday. And of course, when you all got there, the van was there on Sunday.
Correct.
Is it y'all's impression that the van was there that entire time, from 5 o'clock till?
Well, obviously, from our timeline, we know it wasn't there the entire time.
It was not there?
So
From 5 PM Saturday, it was
5 p.m. Saturday.
to 11-ish, 12-ish when you guys got there Sunday. Did it ever leave that location?
Now that we're not aware of.
Okay.
When you said the 5 o'clock thing, I didn't know if you were talking about Friday, but
No,
as
Saturday.
far as the timeline, the only times we can establish as far as that van is there is, that we're still getting trickling information. I think there was another question in here, if there was any tips from the community that have helped us out. Yes, because it has helped us narrow down timelines. We're still following up to see if we can actually get, confirmation of this van being there at certain times. But as of right now, from what we know, that van was there at the crime scene on Sunday is what we can confirm. Now, as far as her time getting back to the crime scene, we cannot confirm that. We're still working on leads and trying to confirm that information.
During the time that she was, you say she was sitting in the parking lot outside Family Dollar, she left at 3:19. At 3:17 is when this Venmo message was sent. And earlier you mentioned you're still trying to determine what device that was sent from. Does that mean that you all do not yet know if she in fact sent that message herself?
Well, as the investigation goes on, I mean, we're doing a lot of search warrants to try to obtain any information that we possibly can. And as we know, as far as with the digital information and all digital electronic devices we have these days, you can access accounts from many different devices, which is why we're going through the extent of being able to determine what device that Venmo was sent.
And her daughter received that payment at 3:17. She said in the Athens Clarke County Police Department report, when she reported her mother missing, that it worried her. She tried to call her mom on her cell phone. But two things. One, she had said that her mother only took her debit card and car keys. She didn't mention a purse. She didn't mention a cell phone. Also, it took her 3 hours, according to the timeline in the missing person report, from 3:17 to 6:01 before she actually reported her mother missing. Have you all looked into why there was a delay?
Yes, we have looked in, and again, we're still waiting for more information to come back. Again, with the search warrants that we've done, we're trying to develop those timelines, get confirmations of where these people were at, or anyone that was close to Deborah at the time. We're just trying to develop and get that information and get factual information. So that way we can actually start putting a basis to this.
Investigator, on the original incident report, there's a check mark about drug use. Was there any reason to?
I will let Colonel Coe go.
I can answer that. So patrol deputies, when they respond to scenes like this, and they don't know exactly what they have, they normally mark whatever may be applicable. In this case, because it was so questionable and there were so many unknowns when we got to the scene, they marked it as a possibility that it could be drug related. However, at this time, the investigation is not leading us in that direction.
Is that another example why there may not be an obvious trauma, like someone shot, stabbed, or, you know?
Could be, but again, it's so preliminary in the investigation that we really can't make that determination. We just do not believe, based on what we have at this time, that this is drug related.
The tip that Amanda Bearden was at the Family Dollar, did that come from her? Did it come from somewhere else? And what is the significance of her not being at that location that Saturday?
I'll try to answer that as best as well. So the tip, as far as her being at Family Dollar, came from an initial interview to where she was talking about her mother going to Family Dollar, buying room supplies to help clean up her apartment when she got back to Georgia. As far as anything, as far as the Family Dollar visit, I don't think that actually came from her. Right?
No, it come from a,
Yeah, more. This is Investigator Garrison. He's also one of my team leads.
so I pulled
I said I wasn't going to stop it, but I need to rewind this because did he just say Amanda told the mom what to buy from the store? Did he just say that? Sorry, I'm going to rewind it, you guys.
You know,
Could be, but again, it's so preliminary in the investigation that we really can't make that determination. We just do not believe, based on what we have at this time, that this is drug related.
the tip that Amanda Bearden was at the Family Dollar, did that come from her? Did it come from somewhere else? And what is the significance of her not being at that location that Saturday?
I'll try to answer that as best as well. So the tip, as far as her being at Family Dollar, came from an initial interview to where she was talking about her mother going to Family Dollar, buying room supplies to help clean up her apartment when she got back to Georgia. As far as anything, as far as the Family Dollar visit, I don't think that actually came from her. Right?
no, it come from a,
Yeah, more. This is Investigator Garrison. He's also one of my team leads.
so I pulled the video footage from the store and talked with everybody from the store. Based off of that, with Miss Collier, she was there for that time period from 2:54 till 3:10, got in her car at 3:10 till 3:20. It was asked that if Amanda was in there earlier, and Amanda, based off of our knowledge at this time, there was some confusion there, and the associate that worked there actually saw the mother and not the daughter. I was able to provide photos to that store clerk to confirm that, based off of what we were told. And she said, no, I remember seeing the mother, not the daughter.
Can you speak to whether Amanda Bearden has any acquaintances or friends, family in the area?
Like investigator Casey said, we can't confirm that right now. I'm sure once we start getting some of these subpoenas and search warrants back on these phone records, we'll be able to give an answer on that at that time.
When was the last time Amanda told you all she saw her mom? And can you confirm a report that Debbie's husband, Steve, was working during the time of Debbie's disappearance?
All right, so what we can confirm as far as that question up there is that we know that Amanda talked on the phone with her mother on Saturday afternoon. I'll have to look back at my notes from the actual report itself, be able to give you some kind of actual time for it. But the last time she spoke to her mom was on the phone. As far as Steve working, we have full video from Snows Bank where he stated that he was working that day because of being a UGA game. He works for a private company called the Optimus Club that private contracts Snows Bank's parking lot. to park vehicles for game day. They use that parking lot to provide parking for people coming to the game. We have confirmed that he was there from, I'm making sure I get the times right, from 9 to 4:06, 9 a.m. to 4:06 p.m. on Saturday.
I'm Nora Almazon with WCHM. Do you have any reason to believe that she could have met someone there where her van was parked?
I'm gonna go back to the answer as far as we're not ruling anything out. We're still trying to develop leads. We're still following up on tips and information. We're still awaiting information back from search warrants and subpoenas that we have sent off. Once that, and for phone records as well, once that information comes back and we have time to actually analyze and go through the details, then we'll have a better answer for that.
Investigator Case, and I know you said that the state medical examiner's autopsy report has not yet been completed, but in the report that you all released last week, you stated that Ms. Collier's body was found down a ravine and she was grasping a small tree in her hand. What does that indicate?
I mean, that's a lot of different indications. I mean, I'll talk about that.
At this point, we're not sure what it indicates.
Could she have been alive?
Very
Or
possible that she could have been alive at the time she went down the ravine. But again, the autopsy will help us to narrow down time of death, help us to narrow down toxicology reports, help us to narrow down other things related to the body itself that we don't know at this time.
so would that indicate, if she were alive, that she survived being burned?
Very possible. Again, very preliminary in nature.
Carl,
Yes.
as far as the crime scene itself, is that private property? Is it public right of way? Is it U.S. Forest Service, National Forest land, or?
I believe it's U.S. National Forest Land.
Yes.
Really quickly, Kara Spelter, 11 Alive. In reference to the crime scene, it was mentioned that the purse that she had at the store was found there. Were any other items recovered, including the poncho she bought?
So all the items that were purchased as far as from the Family Dollar that we can tell right now, again, we're still going through the investigation, but we can confirm that the majority of those items were found on the crime scene.
You mentioned a minute ago that Amanda had just moved back to Georgia. Where was she and when did she move back?
So this is what we can confirm. She lived in Maryland with her brother. She lived in I think the same apartment complex, correct? With her brother up in Maryland. City, I can't tell you what the city is because I don't have my notes and stuff in front of me, but I do know it's Maryland. She moved down here on the 8th, which would have been Thursday, September 8th, when she moved down here to Georgia. So we know that she was down here at some point on Thursday. Yes, sir.
You're clear it's not a kidnapping, despite the fact of that note with the Venmo note. Well, is that something that has made things particularly murky? Because that note seems to give the impression something was going on.
I'll tell you straight up, right here, as far as this investigation goes, it seems like once we get on track with something, like a curveball comes in out of nowhere. That's why we're staying diligent and trying to stay on top of things and following up with leads, because we want to make sure we get facts. Specifically to give y'all. We want to make sure that we have all the information before we start pushing forward.
Did Amanda give any theory as to what was going on, why she would get that kind of message, especially now that we know that message was probably sent in that 2 to 3 minute window after her getting out of the store, right?
She has not given any kind of insight as far as to that. She has been asked, and again, I have to go back to my notes to give you the exact statement she gave, but there's really no insight to it on who they are.
And where is the sheriff in all of this? We've not heard from Sheriff Terrell directly.
I'll let his second in command. This is
So, as any good leader, the sheriff delegates certain authority and certain responsibilities to other people to be performed on his behalf. I have been appointed as the PIO for the Sheriff's Office, Public Information Officer, and I can assure you that Sheriff Terrell is the reason we're doing this today. But I'm the spokesperson, and that's why he has allowed us to report to you and also to bring in the investigators that are actually working the case to give you as much accurate and detail as we can on the ongoing investigation.
Is he here in
No,
Habersham?
ma'am, he has been called out of state. So he is not here right now. So it is now 9:30. Again, I want to reiterate to everyone that this is a very complex investigation. It has a lot of unanswered questions. It also has a lot of issues that you don't see in a typical death investigation. For that reason, it is going to take a significant amount of time, well beyond what we've had in the past 19 days to solve this crime. But we are working diligently to do that. We are working diligently to determine the motive, to find people or a person of interest, and to bring a resolution to this case for Deborah Collier and her family. Thank you.
May I make a second?
Sure, absolutely.
Also, going off of what he said, as far as in the 19-day investigation, to kind of more elaborate on that. This investigation is a marathon. It's not a sprint to the finish. We are going to make sure we take our time so that way when an arrest is made or when persons of interest are actually identified, that there will be ironclad information behind that and supporting our reasoning. We want to encourage anyone that has any information to please reach out. We are following up on any tip and any lead that we could possibly get. My opinion, and I try to leave my opinions out of this, there's no such thing as bad information as far as given to us to follow up with, because we're going to follow up and find out whether it's relevant or whether it's factual or whether it's pertinent to our investigation. So please, if anyone has any information, do not hesitate to reach out and speak with us. You want to go ahead and just give them put our phone number out. My direct line is 706-839-0560. Investigator Garrison, who is my partner on this investigation, his phone number is 706-839-0559. Please contact us with any information. If anyone has had any kind of contact or has anything that might help us further our investigation.
And that autopsy, when did you guys expect it to come in?
We're still waiting. We did have a meeting with them. They have prioritized things. So they initially gave us a 6-week time frame, but depending on how long it takes, once we get it back, we will have another update. I promise you that.
One last question, Chief Deputy Kogot. I had asked you this previously, but why was the GBI not requested to lead this investigation?
Because the Habersham County Sheriff's Office is a full-service sheriff's office. We are a full-service law enforcement agency. We have a complete division that is dedicated to investigating crimes that occur here in Habersham County. It is made up of professional men and women, law enforcement officers who have received special training in death investigations and crime scenes. However, as any law enforcement agency will do, we still reach out to our counterparts, be it the GBI, FBI, and private entities that have resources that can help us with situations or items that may need a little more expertise, that may need a little more knowledge than we have. We reach out to them, and all of our partners have been tremendous help and given us that guidance that we need when we call on them. So it's a total team effort. We are just the lead agency because we're responsible for investigating crimes here in Habersham.
Oh, the video that you discovered, will that be available too?
Yes, we will make the video available. We will have it to you. If you will leave us an email address to send, we will send it to you by close of business today. Okay, thank you very much.
And again, like I said, the picture of the vehicle, I'm going to leave right here. So y'all can actually get a better picture of that.
Casey, if you just leave that picture up there, I'll make sure they get it.
From the Family Dollar that we.
Okay, bear with me, guys. Give me a second. I'm just moving things around. Let's see, let me take this off real quick. Okay. Yeah, just bear with me. I have not listened to this. I told you guys before this would be the first time that I've listened to it. So I am still kind of gathering my thoughts, and I was literally trying to write these notes down so fast, you guys. I was like, and they're all over the place. So I'm going to give you guys my initial thoughts with this, what stood out to me. And then once I comprehend everything, then the next live, I will then probably say some different things. So just keep that in mind. But first thing, this whole presser was about Amanda. This whole thing was about her. Every other question was Amanda this, Amanda that, Amanda. So very interesting. So media is picking up, and they are noticing all the inconsistencies with Amanda's statements and all of that stuff. So I think that's interesting that was the main, mostly the main name we heard today. So, okay. So what are your guys' thoughts with everything? So one of the main things we have learned today is that there is footage now, CCTV now, of Debbie sitting in her vehicle, the rental, after leaving the Family General? What is it called? Family Dollar? Put it in the chat, the exact name. I'm so used to the Dollar Tree out here, you guys. I'm sorry. So I always want to say Dollar Tree. Put what it is that she was in. So she was in the parking lot for, what did they say exactly? She was sitting in the parking lot until 3:19. She leaves. So she leaves the store at 3:09, and then she's sitting in the rental until 3:19. We know the Venmo comes into play at 3:17. They said her phone, they do have her phone. So did she send that Venmo transaction? Now, this is something, Family Dollar. Now, this is something I've been seeing a lot on the Facebook groups, is that people are thinking that Amanda told mom what to buy, and that she sent, and her total was supposed to be, what was it, 2385 that was sent during the Venmo transaction? Was it 2385? So people think that possibly mom's total at the Dollar, it's the Dollar General? Dollar General. Okay, at the Dollar General, 2385. Thank you guys. This is what I'm like when I have an hour of sleep. Okay, so Dollar General. So people think that possibly that total was, like $23.85, but mom accidentally sent, 2,385 by mistake. And here's the thing with that. When you go look, and I was looking at the website last night at work, and I was looking at the prices there, and almost everything is like $1.25. So mom only purchased, and I couldn't find it, how much the tarp was, but I know some of you, Crazy Mama, I know you said that you have purchased that before. How much is the tarp there? Everything else I was looking at that mom bought: paper towels, the 2-pack paper towels, the lighter, the poncho even, what else was on there? That was all like $1.25. Does anyone know? Tarp is $5. So 5, 6. To me, it would not come out to $23 for just those few items. It would not come up to $23. So I personally do not think mom made a mistake and sent that amount. And there is no way I think that. But let me know what you guys think. But that is something that I am seeing going on on the Facebook groups, that people are thinking that the amount was accidentally sent for that big amount. It was supposed to be $23, but you guys can go to the website and just check prices. No way that equaled, even if the tarp was $5, it's not going to equal $23. Hey, Russian girl, did you watch the presser? Let me know what your thoughts are. So another thing that sticks out besides her sitting in the vehicle. So I'm just trying to think, okay, she leaves there, purchases these items. She sits in her vehicle, and her phone was found at the scene. So she had her phone. So I'm really interested to know who she was talking to or messaging during these what is it, 10 minutes that she'd be in her vehicle. I'm really interested in knowing who she's going to be talking to and stuff like that, because I think that's going to hold a lot of answers for this Venmo transaction. 9 minutes she spends there. So that would make sense then, because we're trying to remember yesterday, we were trying to figure out why, like if she pulled over somewhere and made the transaction during Venmo, it's not like, you just shoot a text, kind of like you have to like take your time with it. So even if a mistake of sending that amount, she literally was sitting in her vehicle. So I don't see it as she sent that amount by mistake. I'm just not seeing that for people who think that might have been a mistake with that. Another big thing is that this is still being looked at as a homicide. I told you guys this. I've been saying it, and I've been saying this in the group. I've been saying this on the chat here at the channel. When people have been stating that this was not being looked at as a homicide, that law enforcement said it, I kept saying, okay, show me where Ali said that. Show me where Ali said that. And everybody couldn't show me anything. And one thing I want to say, you guys, whenever you read an article and it says, the sheriff said, I always take into consideration how it's written in the article. For one, if it says like the sheriff said, but it doesn't include his name and it doesn't have like the quotations, I take that with a grain of salt of what's actually being said. Usually when Ali has literally said something, it will say Sheriff X, Y, and Z, and then it goes into the quotation of what they said. But when you see it without quotations, I always question, like, okay, did they say this exactly? And I never really take too much weight into this, but it is still being looked at as a homicide. I want to make that very clear, because that's something that I've been seeing all over, that it's not a homicide. So still homicide. Now, as far as the money, I'm looking at my notes, you guys. So where is the money, honey? Where's the money? So law enforcement can confirm that the money was sent to Amanda. They can confirm that she received the money, but they can't confirm where the money is now, which is really bizarre to me, because a simple question of, Amanda, where's the money, would give you your answer. So it's weird that they don't know where the money is at right now. So it makes me wonder, did Amanda spend that money? Where's the money? And for them to say they don't know is a little alarming for me, at least, because you guys know with this case, I think follow the money and we're going to know what happened here. Now, let me see. They also said that they don't believe, and this is another key important thing, you guys. They stated that they don't think this is a random act, not a serial killer. I've been seeing that a lot out there. Also on Facebook, people are saying this possibly as a serial killer and all of that stuff. They're saying, nope, they don't believe it's a random act and they don't believe it's a serial killer. They did say that they do believe this was personal. What happened to Debbie was personal. So this was planned, and somebody that knows her did this to her, which I think, I don't know about you guys, let me know in chat, but I think this is personal. I think what we know of how her body was found and what happened, what little we know, I think this was personal. Let me see what you guys are saying before I jump right in and to the next part. I'm sure you guys, I see 50 comments right there I haven't looked at. Again, she was sitting in the vehicle. Russian girl, she was sitting in the vehicle. So at 3:19, we need to add that to our timeline. 3:19. Follow the money. Show me the money, honey. But it is really interesting that they don't know where the money is when you can easily ask Amanda. Amanda took that shit. I mean, if she spent that, yikes. Another thing I want to point out, how they did say for the Venmo transaction, they do know it was sent to Amanda. That they do know. Excuse me, sorry. They do know that she received the money. They don't know and they're still trying to determine. They're waiting for all of the warrants and everything. They're all starting to come in, which that's something that we know from other cases with warrants with phone data and phone records. It doesn't happen overnight, you guys, especially with Apple. So it looks like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I hit the mic, sorry. It looks like they're all starting to come in right now. So that means we should start seeing some major changes with all the phone data coming in. But they are still trying to determine what device the Venmo came from. What if that Venmo didn't come from mom at all? Holy shit, from her device. Holy shit. And they're going to find that shit out. And another thing, the purse. So the purse that we have seen, let me get the photo. The purse we've seen that we were, do I have a good photo of it? Yeah, we do. We'll look at this one. Okay, hold on. The purse was found at the scene. So purse at the scene, the purse that she was shown having at least in the surveillance. So you guys aren't looking at my crazy mug just right now by itself. All right, so this purse, it's loading, was found with Debbie, found at the scene. So this purse was there, which I don't know about you. I wondered about the purse. Where was the purse at? Did she have the purse? Did she not have the purse? And I think after we heard her husband's 911 call, we were all dumbfounded. But they're saying this purse in the surveillance video, this was with Debbie. This was with Debbie, which leaves me with more questions because the husband states that, everything is left there. Her purse is left there. Everything's left there. Her credit cards, her license, everything is left there. Usually when you change your purse, you change it, you take everything with you. You know what I mean? You take everything with you. You put all the items in one purse into your other purse. So it's interesting that she did not take any of those items. I don't know. I'm dumbfounded with that one. You guys are saying definitely it's personal. Yeah, I think most of us can agree that this is personal. Sunny says, could she have gone to an outlet mall in that area to buy a new purse? But here's the thing, Sunny, as a woman, let's think about this. As women, let's think about this. Okay. You would take the purse with you though. If you're gonna, if you know what I mean, that purse at home, if it's interesting that she didn't take all her items. So now I'm like, okay, so this purse was at, and that's the question we all had. Where was this purse at? I know us women, we change purses like that. I wasn't like shocked over that. The thing I was like, kind of like, is that her items that she has in her purse are at the house. And usually women, you take your stuff out of your purse and you put it into your new purse. So that just is a little strange to me, still strange to me. Unless she had a purse already in her vehicle, possibly. And again, we don't know Debbie's patterns or anything like that. And at the end of the day, we're just trying to figure it out. And it seemed like the purse at home was possibly the purse she used often, based off of how, the husband's response is during that 911 call. And speaking of the husband, let's just put it out there now. So law enforcement during this presser have stated that they have video of him working from the morning until 4:06 p.m. So there's surveillance of him working. So as far as him actually physically doing this to Debbie, that rules him out. Now, it doesn't rule him out for, planning it or anything, or hiring someone for that or anything like that, because anything is possible. But I personally, I don't know about you guys, I was not really suspicious of the husband. I never got any vibes. Like I was like, no. So to me, this fits perfect for what I'm thinking with the case. So law enforcement says there's video surveillance of the husband. So I think it's very important to put that out there of him at work until 4:06 p.m. So that scratches him out for the one who did this to Debbie. Okay, as far as the check mark on the police report for it being drug related, they said that they just, if they don't know if it had something to do with what had happened to the victim during this time, they'll just check certain boxes just because they don't know if it's related or not. But they said now going forward, with what they've, investigated and what they found, they do not believe that this is drug related. So I want to make sure we put that out there so they don't believe this is drug related. Now I have to go back and listen to this part, but they had the photo of her vehicle. Now I know they said northbound at 2:17 p.m. So I do need to go back and listen to that. And then I know people have been sending me that article with the vehicle, with the photo of the vehicle, of her vehicle. So thank you guys. We'll get more into that on the next slide. And then something else I thought was interesting is when they stated that they asked why, hold on, it's the birthday girl. Give me a second, you guys. When they asked, she's going to Starbucks. Okay, go girl. I got my coffee. I'm okay. When they asked about this Venmo amount and Venmo message, do they know, has Amanda stated why, or have any insight of possibly why this was sent to her? And they said they have no insight on why she got that message or amount, which again, I don't know. Yeah. Show me the money. They don't even know where the money is. How is that possible, you guys? How's that possible? You would think law enforcement would ask Amanda, okay, so you received this message, you received this big amount. Yes, I received it. Oh my God, I'm so scared for my mom. Okay, where's the money now? Like, it's a simple question. I don't understand why they don't know. I mean, it could be, I don't know. And okay, can we talk? Okay, so then we know that Amanda lived in Maryland with her brother, because I know I was wondering why was she out there, but it looked like that's where she was living with her brother. So she lived with her brother out there. That's why she was in Maryland, and that she moved back to Georgia on September 8th. We already knew this, but we're having law enforcement actually confirm it, which I love to have law enforcement confirm stuff. So she moved back September 8th. That would have been a Thursday. Friday, she sees her mother, and then Saturday this happens. It's just really bizarre, you guys. Heather, yes. Law enforcement did state that they were able, with the card, they were able to confirm that she did pay with her card, yes. And in the video surveillance, you do see her pulling out the card and putting it in, and it looks like the chip. Hey, LFT, what is up? I did hear something like that, maybe you guys, but I didn't catch the answer for it, of the reason it was asked why. Someone in chat will probably hear it and comment for that. Something else I thought was a mind fuck really was that Amanda asked her mom, you guys help me out here, asked her mom to purchase the items at the store to clean her home. Did I hear that correct? I know I'm an hour of sleep right now, but did I hear that correct? Full autopsy is not completed. They said about 6 weeks. And I believe we will get it sooner. I really do. Records of data, they're waiting for all phone records to come, including family members. One very important thing I want to say, because I keep seeing this in the groups, they're saying, leave the family alone. Like, I'm not harassing the goddamn family. I'm just discussing the case here. But no one has been cleared. That includes the family. Yeah, okay, yeah. Can you help me with that? With Scott, please. Did he, and again, you guys, like I said, I hadn't listened to this presser beforehand, so I listened to it for the first time with you guys, and I was trying to take my notes as fast as possible. I did not want to stop it while we were listening to it. So again, my first initial thoughts might change after I've comprehend everything and I've re-listened to it again. So the next time we go live, I might have some new thoughts on things. But did they say Amanda told her mom to buy these items? I just want to make sure I heard that correctly. Scott says, I got this one. So they began answering that Amanda asked her mom to purchase stuff, but then the nerdy twitching cop changed the entire answer. Okay, but he did say Amanda told her mom to buy these items to clean her home, right? I know I heard the words cleaning, and I think he even said apartment, but that's not an apartment they live at. So Scott thinks that their comment of they cleared Steve, that comment was made aimed at Amanda and Andrew. They said Steve was on video working all day, cleared. Yeah. To 406. So he's good. He's on camera. He's good to go. And you guys know Amanda and Andrew were watching that presser. I bet you they were watching that presser, biting their motherfucking nails off. To clean her home. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hey, boo. So Boo saying Amanda did not tell her mom to buy an item on this trip. So you're saying law enforcement didn't say that? I'm confused, Boo. I thought he said that Amanda asked. I just need to make sure I got my hearing correctly. Did they say, and I don't want to re-listen to it right now. We're on a crunch time. We still got to go through all the 911 calls, and the dad's 911 call is mind-blowing for me, at least. I mean, the husband's. Amanda asked. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe I'm not reading your comment, Boo, correctly. So Amanda did ask. So again, the items purchased were a lighter, one like you can light a barbecue, right? Paper towels. What else was bought? A poncho, a tarp, and then the bag. But the bag is just used to put the items in, right? How are any of those items to use to clean your home besides the paper towels, which normally, I don't know, I don't use paper towels to clean my home. I use that for wiping down, but that's just me. But even, okay, paper towels maybe, but I don't know. That's very confusing to me. Torch lighter. Thank you, Sarah. I do need to find a way to be better with my notes. LFT is like amazing and organized, and she would laugh at my files literally are notebooks. I'm old school notebooks. I print stuff out. I don't know, when it's right in front of me, it's easier for me just to be able to write things, cross things out, highlight things. When it's on the computer, I don't know, for me, I don't know. Yeah, but you'd laugh at all my notes. LFT. LFT is amazing, by the way, with research and with just presenting the research, unlike me. Look up Otter, you can print out video. All right, I'll look that up. Okay, so did I miss anything? So what are your guys' thoughts though? I do want to see I need to see what you guys say about the items purchased, that Amanda told her mom to purchase items for her to clean her home. I can't believe that. All right, let me get, all right, you guys. And I know, like I said earlier, if you missed the very beginning of this live stream, I did say that the angle of the camera is really high, and I did say the lighting is really dark, and I have it like that on purpose, I said, because I'm on an hour of sleep, so I can't have it too bright, and I need the camera kind of away from me. So just so you guys know. Okay, let me share some things with you. All right, so now what I did was okay, I'm lying. It wasn't me that enhanced it. It's loading still. It's trying to pick it up. Hold on. Come on. Well, you're really awesome, LFT. Okay, so I uploaded the 911 call yesterday to you guys, and a lot of times 911 calls, it's usually a shitty audio because one, it's a 911 call, right? It's a recording. And the one I uploaded, there was a lot of background noise. I was really embarrassed by it after it was uploaded, and I told my boyfriend about it because I was listening to it I always listen to whatever I upload with my earphones, because when you have the earphones, you pick up like all the noises, and there was so much background noise with it. So I did ask I had my boyfriend listen, and I was like, what can I do? So I don't know what app he used or what he did, but he denoised it. He worked on it, and I think this one is way better. So I re-listened to this one, and we're going to use this one right here. So I consider this like enhanced, and the audio I think is much better. So I am going to play the husband's 911 call. I will be stopping this one because there's just a lot to go over. And again, I don't know if my mind has comprehend the press information with this information, so I need to make sure I incorporate it all. So just so you guys know, if you haven't listened to the 911 call, it's out there on my channel. I wouldn't recommend listening to that one. It's so horrible, but a lot of people have put it out. So yeah. All right. Are you guys ready for this? Let's go. So I think I'm going to do it. We'll do it this way. All right.
Yes. Came home. My wife wasn't home. Her driver's license still in there. The rental car's gone, and her daughter's here. And we were kind of worried about what's happening and where she's at. I was wondering if you could send somebody over here.
Okay. Do you have any medical issue, let's say like Alzheimer's or something like that?
No. She's 59 years old. No, she has no medical issues like that. And according to her daughter, who went up and her purse is still here with her driver's license.
How's the audio, you guys? Is it really low? If anything, I can probably just play it from my phone and just mute this on the screen and hit play, because I do add photos to this that I thought were important for certain things that were said, just for visual. Is it low? Let me know. If it is, I'm just going to play it from my phone. I don't have a problem with that. Audio is great. Okay, so it's not bad. Okay, thank you. Now, the first thing I do notice is that he says that, her credit card, so husband gets home, wife isn't home, her driver's license and credit cards are there. Now, unless she has two driver's license, that's the only thing I'm thinking of, you guys, because she didn't take her driver's license with her. I don't know. You can hear it, Boo, but it's on your TV. Okay. Hey, Carol. Did they escape? Who escaped? Scott says it's low, but I think Scott is hard of hearing. All right. So Crazy says the audio is good. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Well, I thought the reason I said maybe she has two is I had thought I lost my driver's license not too long ago. And then I went and got a new one. And then, of course, after I got the new one, I found the old one. So I have two driver's license. I keep one in my vehicle, and then I have one always in my purse, which I probably shouldn't keep it in the vehicle, but it's in there. Oh, thank you, Carol. She went to go get her lashes done. That's why I'm able to be on here with you guys. And then thank you, LFT, for that. Yeah, so that's the only thing I can think of possibly maybe she had two. But the husband says her driver's license is there. So I'm going to continue playing it from here. I don't see anybody really complaining about the audio. So we're just going to play it from here. Now, I will play Amanda's 911 call and Debbie's sister's 911 call from my phone, though. Okay, so just so you guys know.
The only thing is the phone is gone, and she sent her daughter a text about 2 hours ago saying they won't let me go. Whatever that means, we don't know. And I've been gone all day parking cars for the football game and all, and that's where we at.
What's your address, sir?
435 Rocky Drive, Athens, Georgia.
You said 435 Rocky Drive?
Yes, it's right next to Sandy Creek Park.
And now we know the phone was found with Debbie, so she does have her phone. So Dad gets, this is the only thing that I'm unsure of during this whole 911 call. And I want to see what you guys say about it. And I'm just going to ask you guys now. So while we're listening to it, I'm still unsure. Husband gets home. Is Amanda there? Or husband gets home and Amanda shows up. I'm still unclear on that. It's kind of confusing a little bit during this for me, at least. I want to see what you guys say on it, but she's there and she's the one who goes upstairs and she is the one who finds mom's purse and sees that her license and all her credit cards are in the purse. All her stuff's in there, which to me, that means that her wallet is most likely in there. Yep, Little Russian girl. So law enforcement did state that the purse that we see on surveillance is the purse they found at the scene. They were asked about this 911 call about the purse being left at home, but they said they didn't know about, that. So I don't know, but they do have the purse on camera there. Oh, later on. Okay, so I'm looking at all my notes for it. I must have missed that part. Thank you, Scott. So she came over. Okay, so she comes over then. So stepdad shows up home from work, and she then comes over. So that answers a question I had. Remember, I was asking this yesterday. Once Amanda got that Venmo transaction, she said her own wording was she was in fear. She was scared, right? She was scared. So I wonder, did she call stepdad right away? Because if your mom sends you this amount and this weird text, you can't get a hold of her, what are you going to do? You're going to call either your dad or your stepdad and see, hey, have you talked to mom? Is mom with you? She sent me this. It's very interesting that she did not call stepdad, but you were so in fear, but you didn't call stepdad. That's very interesting to me that she didn't call him.
Okay, so she sent your daughter a text message saying that they my stepdaughter that they won't let her go. Yeah, she got a text message saying that. And it come from her number, right? What's your name, sir? Steve Collier. Spell your last name for me. Collier. And your wife's name? Deborah. Before we call her Debbie, but it's Deborrah.
And I know it's because my brain hasn't had sleep. Does he ever say anything about the Venmo amount during this 911 call? Hold on, let me look at my notes. He keeps referring to it as a text message. Does he refer to this as does he refer during this 911 call about the Venmo amount? He doesn't say that at all. I don't have that on my notes. I do have texts. Husband kept referring to a text was sent. That stood out to me. They won't let me go. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So, are you telling me during this 911 call, husband didn't know about the Venmo amount or know that this was a Venmo transaction? Text. Yeah, but what about the money? What about the money? Did she not tell him about the money? Because he does not mention the Venmo money. I don't have it on my notes. We're going to listen to it again. I could have just missed it. But I do have text right here in quotations. It stuck out to me. Wow. Wow, that's a very red flag to me. That is red flag. One, you get this text, this Venmo transaction with the message that sends you into fear, and the amount is over $2,000. You don't immediately call your mother's spouse, who you would think that would be the next person you call once you can't get a hold of your mother. Who are you going to call? If you're really in fear for your mother's life, can we talk about this for a second? If you're really in fear for your mother's life, you can't get a hold of her, you're going to call your dad, your stepdad. You're going to call the person who's closest to them. You're going to call your dad and be like, have you talked to mom? She does not call dad based off of what the dad says, that she does not call stepdad, what the husband says during this. He learns about all of this when she arrives at the house. So that tells me she did not call him. And then two, he keeps referring to this as a text message, He does not refer to this as a Venmo. He does not mention the money amount. So I'm thinking, in my opinion, Amanda didn't tell him about the money. Holy shit. That's big for me, you guys. That is huge for me. That is freaking huge. Wow.
Second last name?
Collier, yes.
How old is she? 59?
59. just turned 59.
You just returned home, right?
Pardon me?
You just returned home, right?
Yes, I just returned home. I was parking cars until about 4:30, and when I came back, the van that she had rented because the car was in the shop was gone. I figured she was shopping for food.
Okay. So and her car is there?
Pardon me? Her van's not here.
Okay. But her driver's license and what else is there?
Right. Yeah, her driver's license is here.
What else did she leave? With a purse or anything else?
Yeah, she left her purse, and her credit cards are here.
When was the last time she was seen?
Well, I left at 9 o'clock. She was still sleeping. So, last night. I mean, she went to bed last night, and I left, and the van was here.
So is your stepdaughter there though? I mean, did she see her today?
Pardon me?
Did your stepdaughter see her today?
Wait a minute.
You say a stepdaughter. Did she see her or?
Say that again. I'm trying to control a dog.
Okay, your stepdaughter. Did she see her?
No,
recently?
no, nobody has seen her. I was probably the last person to see her last night.
What time? You said 9 o'clock last night?
Yeah, about 9 o'clock when we went to bed.
You left this morning, right?
Yes, at about 9.
I'm sorry. So did you see her this morning or last night?
No, I saw her last night at about 9 when she went to bed. And when I left, the van was here. And
so she was. You don't know if she was still there or not. You didn't see her this morning.
Right, except the van was still here. So I'm assuming she was sleeping.
Okay, so now that we've heard, sorry, my mind is just blown by this right now. Yeah. But now that we know that law enforcement has video surveillance of the husband, my initial thoughts when I first heard this, I was thinking like, gosh, he says that he's seen her at 9 p.m. She goes to bed at 9 p.m. and then 9 a.m. he leaves and she's still asleep. I was like, damn, that's a long time to be sleeping. But the red flags I had, a little bit of red flags that I did have during this, I'm kind of like just like sketching that stuff out of my brain right now because law enforcement, well, no one's been cleared, actually. Let me correct myself. No one has been cleared, but they do have the husband on video surveillance, and they have him all the way at the job till 408, 409 or something like that. So who was arguing the night before? Nobody knows, Anna D. And I wish they would have asked law enforcement something about that. Because I had a list of questions that I was hoping they asked. And I will say this press, I don't know how you guys feel about the press, but I think it was a really good informative press conference. We've watched many press conferences here at the channel, and a lot of times we're really upset with the questions that are being asked. They're so ridiculous. It's like, why are you wasting law enforcement's time with this stupid ass question? That's how I feel sometimes. But I feel like they asked really good questions and they answered pretty much almost everything. We really weren't getting the answer of, that's still an ongoing investigation. We can't answer that. We really weren't getting that from them, which I thought was really interesting, especially with the questions we're framing towards Amanda. They pretty much, I think, answered almost everything for us. But I wish they would have asked the question of, neighbors have claimed they heard arguing the day before. Have you followed up with that? Do you know what that was about? I wish that would have been a question asked because it is interesting that the night before neighbors claimed to hear arguing going on in the home. Yeah, I enjoyed this presser. I'm not going to lie. I really did. It was very informative and I'm going to watch it and listen to it again.
What time was the message sent to your stepdaughter?
What time? About 2 hours ago?
About 2 hours ago?
Yes.
And it's
Yep, I'm even more convinced that Amanda told her stepdad that mom sent a text message. Yep, sent a text message. So he said this would have been 2 hours ago, and we know that the Venmo was sent at 3:17. So that this would have been a little bit after 5, right? If it was 2 hours ago. But that makes no sense because she said she drove around for 2 hours. The call didn't get placed then until, well, from the Venmo transaction. I'm going based off of what you see on the screen. So the Venmo was sent at 3:17. Hold on. Okay, that was the birthday girl. She's home right now. All right. So I got about 30 minutes. I better get my ass moving. Okay, so I just lost my train of thought. So I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I'm trying to think of the time, you guys. Help me focus on the time. So 3:17, the Venmo gets sent. And then she drove around for 2 hours. Remember, she said going to Walmart and Ulta, places that her mom would go to, she said. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Birthday girl totally fucked me with it. She totally threw me off. She's like, look at my lashes. Sorry. All right, let me push play. Sorry.
specifically said they won't let me go.
Yeah, that's what the message said.
And that's all it said, right?
That's all it said.
That's all it said. So, again, this is more proof for me, at least, that Amanda didn't tell stepdad the whole truth. This message did not just say, they're not going to let me go. It says a lot of things. It says, you can cut off the I love you shit, but it says there is a key in the house in the blue flower pot by the door. That's also included in this message. So they're not going to let me go. That's not all it said, stepdad. But you know why stepdad is saying that? Because that's what Amanda told him. But here's the thing, though. I don't know. Wouldn't you ask to see the message? I don't know. Wouldn't you ask to see it, though? I mean, I would. Without a doubt, you guys. Amanda, in my opinion, this is my opinion, based off of what we've heard from stepdad, in my opinion, Amanda, one, did not call him immediately after getting this amount of money and this message attached to it. And she says she attempted to call mom and all that stuff. She did not call stepdad to look for or see if he knew what this was all about. Red flag for me. Two, she, in my opinion, based off of what is being said here, she told stepdad it was a text message she got. There is no mention of the $2,385 that was attached to this. There's no mention of that. Makes me feel like he's not aware of it. And then three, also he's saying that's all that was on the text message was, they are not going to let me go. There was nothing else said, which we're looking at it now. Clearly there's more. Another red flag for me. Very interesting. It seems like Amanda kept this information from her stepdad. Question is, why? Wow. Yeah. Wouldn't you ask to see it? Maybe, well, maybe, Vicky, you're right. Maybe he's just flustered. And I do want to say, when I initially heard this, I personally feel the husband's, he seemed sincere during this. He seemed kind of like, I kept getting the feeling like if he's just confused, he's confused by it all. I mean, he gets home, he does say this in a little bit, but he gets home and, he just figured she was out shopping. He didn't think anything. Then you got to imagine too, then you have your stepdaughter showing up saying, hey, I got this text message saying from mom, they're not going to let me go. I can't get a hold of her. You know what I mean? And I'm assuming he would have tried to contact her and they're not able to get a hold of her. You would be thinking you're kind of confused by it all. So I get it. He does sound confused to me during this phone call, kind of like if you're still trying to comprehend all this information as you go. There's something right here, a fly. Yeah. But I'm still blown away by them referring to this as a text message and no Venmo transaction. Wow. Replay gang, I need to know what you guys think about that. Wow.
And she was last seen driving, or she was driving her. What kind of car is that?
It's I don't know because the car's in the shop, so the rental place on
The van that she was driving, is that what she be in, or you don't know?
no, I don't know. It's Enterprise. She went a call from Enterprise. It's a Pacifica or something.
That's the car you saw this morning, though, right?
Yeah, the black van. Yeah.
It's a black Pacifica,
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's Pacifica.
and that's the rental car.
Yes, from Enterprise.
Hold on, I gotta highlight. No, Scott, you're just being silly. That is so not true. Scott says nobody would ask to look at a woman's phone without being slapped. That is so not true. He wouldn't have said, let me see. He also looks back shortly and says that's the text, right? Meaning she didn't show. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying that he didn't look at it though. It's just interesting to me. Maybe he just trusted it kind of like shows me he trusted his stepdaughter. And no, you're not going to get slapped if you ask to see if, I mean, you got to take into consideration too these circumstances here. I mean, it would make sense, be like, what? Let me see. But I think he is caught off guard with all of this. He thinks his wife is out shopping. And then and who knows how Amanda acted when she got there. Was she extremely acting frantic, or if, could have just threw him off and everything just seemed to happen so fast. Keep in mind too, he didn't call hospitals. So it seems like he's learning all of this as he goes, it seems like. So she didn't show him that, which again,
All right, I'm sorry. What's her birthday?
Deborah. Debbii, or her given name is Deborah.
No, her birthday.
Deborah.
Her birthday? And she white, female, black, female?
Pardon me?
She white or black?
White.
How tall is she?
About 5'5".
How much she weigh?
About 150. 145, somewhere around there.
What color hair?
and Boo, I think you're referring to this one. And if it's this comment, you're right. She says, Amanda has told him pretty much everything he's telling the 911 operator, which again, to me is red flag, you guys. It's extremely red flag. That means she has kept information from him. And we got to wonder why.
Blondish.
would she be going to somebody's house or?
That's a good question. I thought she was out shopping for food. Her daughter came over with that strange message and then went upstairs to her bedroom and found out that her driver's license and credit card's still here. So that doesn't sound like her leaving the house to go shopping like I thought she was. She usually shops for food on Saturday.
So she don't have any money at all with her or any other car?
Not to our knowledge. She has nothing.
But is her purse there?
Yes.
She left the purse as well?
Yes.
So you're right. He does state, Scott, how he said, I must have missed that, where he says the daughter came over with that strange message. And then she's the one who goes upstairs and finds mom's purse and license and credit cards. Sarah says, what, Amanda returned those items to the house? Well, as far as the purse, she must have a different purse because, like law enforcement said, the purse that we see on surveillance is the purse that they found. So I know at first a lot of us were trying to figure out, okay, did someone return her purse back at home, trying to figure out the distance and time frame for it all. But no, the purse is still the one that's in surveillance, at least. That's at the scene. The one we see Debbie carrying crossover, that's at the scene. There's another purse, and this purse that's at the house, to me, this is probably the one she uses the most. And all her items are still in the purse, which is just, I don't know. I can't figure that part out. Like I said in the beginning, as a woman, you change purses all the time. That's not red flag or suspicious. It's just weird that usually when you change purses, that's exactly what you do. Grab your items, you put it in your other purse. So it's interesting that all the items didn't get placed there with her. So I don't know. And if you're only taking your phone, she obviously had a card, right? She obviously had her card because that's what she used to pay. And law enforcement did confirm she used a card to pay. That has been confirmed from law enforcement. You would think the phone would be in your back pocket or something. Why take that big old bag? What was in the big old bag if your items are in the other bag? It's just, I don't know, kind of strange. Well, Grateful Ed, okay, so the bag, Grateful Ed said maybe the big red purse matched. Well, her big red purse, she didn't have a red purse. She had a blue purse. It looked blue or like a navy blue, maybe black even, because it's surveillance. But to me, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think color it was. But it was not red. The red tote bag, them saying tote bag, it makes you think literally of that. And as women, you know what I'm talking about. But what Debbie got was just a reusable shopper bag at the store to put her items in. When I think of a tote bag, I literally think of a tote bag that I can use. That was a reusable shopper bag. Sarah, I see you have a question. Why would the items Amanda said were the only items she said she took with her be the very thing stepdad is saying there at the house? I know, which I don't. Well, he's saying her credit cards. All her credit cards are there. Amanda said debit card, but her license, she said the only thing missing was the license and her debit card were the only two things missing. And then we have dad saying, a stepdad saying the license is here. So, Amanda, I don't know. And, at first I was feeling a little stupid for being so confused with this case, like it's a case. I've never come across a case where I'm literally like looking like this. Like I'm constantly like, what? And I feel like a lot of us feel like this with this case. It's so confusing and so bizarre. And I really appreciate all those questions that were asked during the press. Scott said, here's what usually happens when you create a script for you and your partner in crime. Sometimes you make a mistake and mix up what you aren't supposed to say and what you are. So she messed up. And I do agree with Scott on this, because also, something they also had different things that they stated. Could be nothing, but it is something that I did notice, is that Andrew, the boyfriend, said that on Friday, mom brought them lunch, right? And then Amanda said she had dinner with mom. So, and I know some people were like, well, maybe dinner was lunch, blah, blah, blah. I don't buy that. I think that was, in my opinion, just a mix up of their script. Like they fucked, one of them didn't keep it correct. But I do believe it was possibly dinner, because we know that there was, the neighbor claimed they heard arguing that night. So that's why I think the arguing was with Amanda and somebody in the house. Blue Sheet says that the blue purse could have had an explosive inside, forcing Debbie to do what she was told. And here's the thing with that, though. I think when we see her on surveillance, I don't believe she was in distress at all. Based off of what the clerk was saying, you got to think about yourself too. If you felt your life was in danger, right, and you are sent into a store to buy things, you would think you'd be shitting bricks. You would be scared, right? And you would see signs of that, whether that be, your hands are shaking. And I think you would be able to tell in Debbie's voice. The clerk mentions nothing out of the ordinary with Debbie. And when we watch that surveillance, she does have interaction with Debbie. And, even from, Debbie purchasing a red reusable shopper bag when the store has plastic bags there. um, and you see where the clerk starts putting her items in the plastic bags, and you see that, Debbie kind of gets the reusable bag and shows her and starts putting things in there. So I don't see any signs of her being in distress when she's shopping. It just looks like she's in there minding her own business, going along her day and picking up items, which is, extremely strange.
Yeah, a family here in town.
No, just her daughter.
Have you tried to call the hospitals and jails just to be sure?
No, I didn't think of calling the hospital.
Okay, go ahead. Like I said, I got them on the way out there to you.
Okay.
Go ahead and call both hospitals, Athens and St. Mary's, and just check with the jail as well to make sure. And we'll have somebody come out there and talk to you.
Okay. I appreciate it.
And your phone number.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna now play from my phone. I'll put some visuals up for you guys so you're not looking at my mug. But the key things from this 911 call for me, you guys, is one, that her items are left at the house, and then Amanda says that the credit card and license were missing. It's very bizarre to me. And another huge thing for this, listening to it with you guys, I didn't even pick this up when I listened to it and I was editing this like twice, is that it seems like Amanda told stepdad that she got a text message. Through this whole thing, we hear the word text message. She sent a text message. And there is no mention of this being a Venmo. There is no mention of that huge amount being attached to, they're not going to let me go. There is none of that. And it's very interesting that the dispatch asks, is that all that the text said? And he says, yes, that's all it said. But clearly that's not all it said. So it makes me wonder, did Amanda not want to say anything about the key? It's just really strange to me. But to me, she kept information from stepdad originally during this, which is huge for me. And another thing that's red flag is she didn't call him immediately. after this amount was sent to her with this message that she says herself she was so scared. But yet you're so scared for your mom, but you don't call stepdad. That's huge for me, you guys. Very huge. All right, let me get you guys some visuals while we listen to, I think it's going to be first. Let me look at how I have it here. I think I have it with, I think it's going to start off with Debbie's sister. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think Dad has any stepdad has any insight of what happened to Debbie? And we know he physically wasn't there, but do you think he had any role into what happened to Debbie? I honestly do not think stepdad had anything to do with what happened to Debbie whatsoever. I believe what he's saying, and I really do think he's being genuine right here. And from my first initial thought when I listened to this, he does sound really confused through this whole thing and kind of like shocked by it all. Like if he's literally learning all this information as he goes right then and there. And I do think he probably sadly just trusted, his stepdaughter with the information that was given to him immediately. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. And Crazy Mama, you're right. She says was calm as can be, but then sat in van and sent that weird Venmo message. Yes, allegedly she sent it. And once law enforcement gets all those records, we will know for sure if she sent it. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know how I feel about that. Knowing she sat in the vehicle is interesting because the Venmo would have went through. And if you think about it, the Venmo goes through at 3:17, at 3:19, she leaves. So it's kind of like, if she's sitting there, who is she talking to during that time frame? I'm kind of only thinking she's talking to somebody during that, whether text or phone call, and then sends the amount. And I kind of feel it might be Amanda. It might be Amanda, and then sends that amount if she's the one who sent it. And then once it's done being sent, boom, she then drives off. I don't know. I'm trying to make all of this make sense. I'm really trying. I'm trying my hardest. All right, let's listen to this one. So let me. And if you guys have not hit the like button, if you guys can do that really quick, I do appreciate it. I guess we'll look at this. Hold on, I'm just trying to give you guys a visual. I guess we'll look at this. Give me a second. Okay. Let's see. Share screen. You can tell I'm getting sleepy. I'm getting flustered in my skin tone. My skin's looking red. Okay. But I want to get through this with you guys. It's important. This case is important to me. And you guys are important. And I'm like, I got to go live with you. Okay, so we'll look at this, shall we? Okay. Okay. Can you guys hear that okay?
Yes, my name is Diane Shirley, and my sister lives in Georgia, and my niece told me she was missing. Her name is Deborah Collier, or she could go by Debbie.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if y'all have any information about it.
As far as, no, not other than with the officer or whoever is working on the case, I don't know anything. Where she live,
All I know is I'm sorry. I don't know her address. Collier. Okay. C-O-S.
And I just want to say really quick, I don't know how you guys felt when you listened to this, but I felt so heartbroken for her sister. just imagine not living in Georgia and then having your sister be missing. You can tell she's very, very concerned for her sister.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have any information. You know, when there's something, they will contact the family. Whenever they, like I said, whenever they have something for that.
Okay.
All right.
We're just not getting information, so I'm just.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I am really worried about my sister.
Okay.
And.
You know, do you have any information where she might go, or you have anything to ask?
Well, from my niece, she said that she was in an accident about a month ago, and she was, on the road. She was following this truck, and this truck lost a paint can, and the paint can hit my sister's car, and the paint went everywhere. And the driver was trying to convince my sister not to tell the cops that he was driving because he was out on parole, and they was,
So I think it's interesting. So Amanda does tell the sister about, she tells her that your sister is missing, right? Mom's missing. But then she goes into and she does tell her about this incident with mom getting into a wreck. So I'm assuming that's why mom's car was in the shop since it just happened. But I kind of feel like, was she trying to put that narrative out there? Like, hey, it's possibly this dude who mom got into this wreck with, and he was on parole, and he didn't want, her to report it and all of this stuff. Like, I'm wondering if she's just pushing that out there as a narrative with the sister.
The stipulation to his parole that he couldn't drive.
I don't think that has anything to do with.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask, do you think that was told to anybody else? Do you think that was told to the officer, that concern?
That's standing from my niece.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if the officer knows that, but I can have him call you. If you want to pass it along with anything to help,
Yes, I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's the right.
Because I'm
sorry, go ahead.
I'm in Alabama, and I really do. She won't, she's not communicating very well with us, and I really would like to know what's going on.
I got you.
And that's really upsetting to know that how she says she's not really communicating with us, and she just basically saying, I just want to know what's going on. That's really sad if you think about it, that her sister is missing and her daughter is not communicating with her of what's going on. I'm sure she has all these questions. So she then has to call law enforcement to get any answers because Amanda is not communicating with her, which I guess you can go both ways with that. Maybe, again, if Amanda has nothing to do with it, maybe she's just so distraught herself. Or maybe if she does have something to do with it, she just doesn't want to, talk to anybody. I don't know. And then I highlighted this comment. So RKM10, I didn't see what you wrote before that, but I'm just based off of this. I'm assuming you're talking about the clerk. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he says not necessarily. He's answering a comment. Her testimony was totally sketchy. First of all, she didn't recall her at all. Then she said, oh yeah, I remember talking to her. She couldn't even recall her shift hours. And I think you're referring to the clerk. And then, yes, we can all agree to disagree here in chat. Talk it out in chat. We're all theorizing at this point. And if you can't, agree to disagree, just block the other person, you guys.
Okay. Yeah, since you may have insight on that, I'll have the sergeant give you a call. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. That would be wonderful.
All right. And what is here? Excuse me. What's your name?
My name is Diane Shirley.
You get to hear her accent. I love it.
And your phone number?
And not only that, he has facial hair, and he has facial hair after this. So, yeah. And then he has a man voice. So I would think.
Yes, sir.
I think the clerk would notice that.
Her daughter's name is Amanda Bearden. She would have been the one that would, her and her husband, Steve Collier, would have been the ones filing the report, was my understanding from Amanda.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just have them give you a call, okay? Just hang tight, all right?
All right, thank you so much.
No problem.
Another question I just have, because she's referring to, like, Amanda's the one she spoke with. I'm just wondering if she spoke with stepdad, wondering what the dynamics with all of that is. Okay, now we're going to listen to Amanda's 911 call. Really interested to see what you guys say about this one. Do I have it playing? No, I do not.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I agree, Vicky, she does.
Hi, my name's Amanda Bearden, and I filed a missing persons report on my mother last night, yesterday, excuse me, and I was just wondering if maybe I could speak with the detective that's been assigned to the case.
Do you have any further information?
I sure do. I mean, do you want the case number?
I don't know. That just was, I sure do. Do you want the case? Like, I don't know.
That way. Bear with me just a second. I'm sorry. That's fine. Okay, it's 2022 dash 0910 0216. 216? Yes, ma'am.
And the detective may not actually be in the building yet, so I may have to get you a patrol officer, okay? So just bear with me just a second.
Okay.
That's 09010.
I'm sorry, his handwriting's not that great, but it's 09100216.
Sorry about that. I think I missed.
You're fine, it's only me.
On Rocky Drive?
Yes, ma'am.
It's all right. It's only me.
So what kind of update do you have, just so I know what to try to...
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean like I had an update. I just meant...
Do you have an update?
Oh my God, I didn't mean, I'm sorry, I'm not in a clear mental state. This is my mother that's missing. I just wanted to talk to them. I wanted to see if maybe there was something that I could do. I do have the rental agreement number if they needed that. I mean, that's the only thing that I have to offer. So maybe, because she was in a rental car, I do have her rental agreement number. If they could maybe trace the GPS to it.
What's your phone number?
Now, I know you guys are going to come for me with this, but I'm just going to let it be put out now. When I first heard this, initially, I think she's being sincere with her emotions here. What do I mean by that? I don't feel, this call was the next day. So I don't feel that this is fake tears coming. I don't feel this is fake tears coming across here. I feel like this is sincere. Now, why are these emotions being brought out? Is it because she literally doesn't know anything about what happened to mom and she's just really concerned? Maybe. Or is it she's feeling guilt because even though she physically didn't do anything to mom, she wasn't there, but she knows who's responsible and the reasons behind it. Maybe that's guilt and those emotions are just coming out. I don't know. But I do think her emotions with the tears seem sincere in my opinion. You can hear it in her nose even over this, like you can hear it just getting all clogged up, and in my opinion at least. Really different from what we've seen during the interview online. And I kind of want to clip both of them together and just listen to it to see the difference. But to me, this just seems different, but that's just my opinion. And I knew someone was going to say that she is fishing for information. Could totally be fishing for information. That's why in the beginning when she says new information, the dispatch thought, the officer thought that she had new information, but she literally means she wanted to know if they had anything, basically, is what she was trying to say. Oops, sorry.
Her daughter? Yes, ma'am. Take a deep breath for me, okay? I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. I'd be upset too. I completely understand that part, like being upset about it. So the officer that took your report is already gone for the day. He worked last night. And then the detective.
Well, Scott, you got to think too. If your mom was missing, and your mom was missing for 24 hours, I think a lot of people, a lot of females at least, would be feeling this emotional. You would be scared, especially your mother. This has never happened before. Just think about that yourself right now. If your mom was missing for 24 hours, you had no clue where your mom was. Let's say she's being 100% legit and she has no idea, she's not connected to what happened to Debbie. I would be extremely worried, and I think, and crying. I know a lot of people are going to come in here. You guys would be worried. Don't think of this as being Amanda and what we are all red flag with her. Put yourself in her shoes. If this was you, your mom was missing 24 hours, and I'm just saying this because of Scott's comment, would you be crying emotionally? Would you be worried as fuck for your mom? A lot of people are going to they would be frantic. They would be frantic. So again, her emotion isn't like a red flag to me.
I don't think they're in the building right now. They're kind of working on an on-call basis.
Scott says less than 12 hours. Even if
I have something.
Yes, Scott, even less than 12 hours, because look at your mom never goes missing like this. And then you get this message and a Venmo. And again, I'm playing devil's advocate. If she had nothing to do with it, 12 hours, 5 hours, you're going to be scared. You're going to be scared. And I'm a worrier. I worry about, oh my gosh, if I can't get a hold of somebody within like 2 hours, I go by patterns though. If someone messages me like this and then 2 hours go by and no message, I'm going to be honest with my loved ones. I start to get, my mind is so fucked up that my mind starts thinking the worst. So I can totally get being worried about your loved one within 5 hours or a few hours. I would totally be that person.
Fresh to give them, and that would be something, but I can see if I can get another officer to call you back, okay? We've got the bolo out for her. We got everybody, keeping their eyes peeled for her and that kind of thing. So, I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here or anything, but do I need to hire a private detective, maybe? Because I mean, and I'm not trying to be ugly or anything, but I don't understand I know you don't know everything, of course, but why it hasn't, what I've asked being done, like why isn't the GPS in the van being traced? Do I need a private detective to do that? I mean, I'm not trying to be ugly or anything.
What do you guys think about that? She's asking if she needs to hire a PI, basically, to get the answers that she's asking, like the GPS coordinates pretty much on the vehicle and stuff like that. What do you guys think about that? And True Crime Diva, I agree. It's her mom though. And again, let's not, and I think Amanda knows more. I think she's involved. My opinion. I'm speculating here. That's my opinion. But I'm just going off of the emotion I feel and I'm listening to right now. I do think this is sincere, in my opinion. Why she's this emotional could be a lot of different reasons. If she is involved, maybe the guilt is sinking in here. Maybe it's the fear for herself right here that's getting her emotional, and she's thinking, shit, what she got herself into, what has happened, and now she's shitting bricks and she's scared and she's crying. And she's calling to see if she could get more information. Does she need to hire a PI to see what information law enforcement has? You know what I mean? But I think it is interesting that she is offering help to help them with certain things like the rental agreement, and then she does go into the iCloud in just a little bit, offering that information. And True Crime Diva, you're right. It's her mom, though, just saying she would be upset and scared too. And then some, I plead the fifth, said girls we're more emotional, I feel like. But I don't see a red flag whatsoever with being worried about your parent and being scared and crying, a few hours after you haven't had contact. I know how my personality is. Like I said, I am that person. I would probably be calling law enforcement after, like, if I hadn't heard from nobody, my mind would already want to be calling law enforcement. I'm not even going to tell you in the time frame because you guys would think I'm fucking nuts. LTF, no, honey, you need to hire an attorney. Scott, okay, Scott, we get it. Scott does not believe this at all with her. He thinks this is all fake with her. And he says he's going to the bathroom. He's going to hide in the bathroom until we stop this. True Crime Diva says, I still think she's guilty, but I do understand some of what she is saying due to experiencing it myself before. And like I said, and I think she is guilty. I think she knows more, but I got to keep it real with you guys. And, you know, I don't fake the funk. And I do think that this phone call, her emotions here are sincere. I don't believe she's not crying here. You could hear the muckles in her nose just building up. Way different, like I said, than what we've seen in her interview, where she's showing all these emotions as she's crying, facial expressions, wiping her face and everything, but yet nothing, no pink in the nose, no tears, no watery eyes. So, you know, and again, what is this stemming from? That could be guilt, you know, or fear. Fear, the emotions getting to her. She's in fear now. So I don't know.
Okay, so here's the thing. She's an she's an adult. Right? So that makes things a little more difficult because people are allowed to leave and go and do things without telling other people. And I know that's not a good answer. I understand that. But that is also, you know, that is also part of it because she is an adult. So it just takes some time also to do these things. And so I don't specifically know what they've done.
You can hear her nose.
Yet or not. Yeah, I wasn't here last night, so I don't know. But from my understanding, they would be doing everything that we know to do currently. But I will definitely get somebody to call you back, okay? Okay, it's no problem. I'm so sorry. I hate that this is happening to you. What was your name again, sweetie? Amanda Bearded. Amanda Bearded.
And something else I noticed is that when the phone call is going to end and she asks for her name, she doesn't switch it. Like, she's not like, no more crying, Amanda Barrett. You know, she's still crying. So I do think this emotion is sincere. And H-Doc says she's trying to sound like she cares. I personally think her emotions are a fear for herself. And you can be 100% correct. I lean more towards that too, because I do think she knows more. So I do think she's in more fear of herself. Maybe also a little bit of guilt might be coming into play. Carly says she's emotional because it's her mom, that she had a hand in killing. I have so much guilt. Mom and daughter relationships are complicated as F. Girl, don't get me started. I get it. Boo says wanted them to hurry up and find her and get on with her life. Maybe that's why she wanted them to track the vehicle so quickly. Hey, Jules, what's up? She's talking about the comparison and how she's wearing her purse. Crossbody is so interesting, she says. Carol says, let's see what Carol says. Carol says, I feel like this might be feeling guilty because she's full well knows exactly what happened to Debbie and how and who did it. And I am going with you on that comment. I am right with you on that. That's how I feel, especially just listening to the 911 call with stepdad, him referring to it being a text message. I can't get past that, you guys. So it seems like she, one, did not call him when, all this came through, the money and the message that she feared, red flag. Then again, she gets there, tells him it's a text message, doesn't mention no money amount. Why keep all of that? Why keep what the message fully said? And why keep, okay, maybe what the message fully said, okay, all right, I'll give her a pass on that. But the Venmo amount, I can't get past that. Why not include that? Why doesn't law enforcement know where the money is? When it can easily be asked, Amanda, you got the Venmo transaction. We can confirm that. Yes. Okay. Where's the money? It's still here in my account. Look at my phone here. Why hasn't that been done? It's so easy. It's Venmo. You can easily look at it and see where it's sitting. Like, has it been spent? Like, what the actual F?
So your last name? B-E-A-R-D-E-N?
Oh, a little
All right,
flat.
I'll get somebody to call you back here shortly, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, that's real emotion right there, guys. I'm sorry. I hear the mocos.
Talk to me, please. Hi, can I speak with Colonel Johnson? Okay, I don't have a Colonel Johnson. Okay, he just called me. I have some more information for him, and I'm wanting to give it to him. My name's Amanda Bearden. Okay. All right, hold on one second. I talked to you earlier. Yes, Sergeant Johnson, we had you talk to you. Hold on. Sergeant Johnson, I'm sorry. No, that's okay. Lots of Johnsons right here, so I want to make sure I got I get it. You just needed to call you back? Yes, ma'am. I thought about it, and I have her iCloud information. I know that and correct me if I'm wrong, but if the phone is turned off, it would still track her. But I do have her. I've got her Apple ID and what I thought was her password, but the password isn't working. I don't know if y'all have.
So that was interesting right there when she said that. So I don't know how to. Let me just a little bit. Sorry, hold on.
It's Amanda Bearden. Okay. All right, hold on one second. I talked to you earlier. Yes, Sergeant Johnson, we had you talk to you. Sergeant Johnson, I'm sorry. No, that's okay.
No Colonel.
Johnson right here, so I want to make sure I got I get it. You just needed to call you back? Yes, ma'am. I thought about it, and I have her iCloud information. I know that and correct me if I'm wrong, but if the phone is turned off, it would still track her. But I do have her. I've got her Apple ID and what I thought was her password, but the password isn't working. I don't know if y'all have.
It's interesting that she says she had what she thought was her password, but it's not working. So I don't know.
Technology or whatever, but I do have. I don't know. I just.
Sorry.
I mean, All right, hold on one second, okay? Maybe call me back. Okay, thank you.
You guys, stop it. I'm trying to be serious here. Oh my god, you guys are funny. Oh yeah, I can't imagine Debbie giving her daughter a password to anything. Seriously.
All right, ma'am, he said he'd be calling you back shortly, okay? Thank you so much. All right, no problem. Thank you.
And that concludes that. I don't think Debbie would give her daughter anything. I got this candle, you guys, at the 99-cent store. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's pretty cool. I don't know why I have it right here. Hey, Mod Squad. So that was a lot of information that we just went over. We went through the presser. We went through the 911 calls. So I'm going to wrap this up because you guys know I already told you guys a lot. So I'm going to deplug for the weekend and enjoy, have a weekend birthday party with the child here. Oh, well, now she's a young adult now, 18. I'm like, I told her the other day, I'm like, don't think because you're 18, you can do whatever you want. But she's such a good kid. I don't have that problem with her. So we'll get back on this on probably Monday or Tuesday. And we will then go real into a open panel. We'll go through all the information, everything. We'll have a good discussion on it. If nothing breaks within then, again, some of the keynotes from the presser, I do want to just say is that they are barely getting back, from the warrants and stuff, the phone information. So all the warrants they got for, they took Amanda's phone, we know, Dad's and Andrew's, they're barely getting information back, and they're trying to piece things together, and they're looking at everything. So that's very important to note, you guys. So we're going to learn, I think they're going to learn a lot with that. One, they don't know what device that Venmo transaction came from. They're going to be able to tell that once they analyze all the records. So we're going to wait for that also. Again, important thing from the press is this is still considered a homicide, you guys. Can we wrap that up and not say this is not a homicide? Law enforcement said they never even said it wasn't a homicide. So, okay, still a homicide. They also don't believe that this was a random act. They don't believe this is a serial killer out on the loose. They do believe that this act was personal. The purse we see in the photo with Debbie, that purse was at the scene. I need to go back and listen to the photo of the vehicle. I know you guys are sending it to me, but when we go live again, we can look at it. Hold on, you guys, let me. Okay. Okay, so, and a lot more that we went over. That's my birthday girl. All right, she's saying I gotta go. All right, so I just want to thank you guys for being here with me. I look so flustered. I'm so flustered. I know the angle and everything's different. Look at my shirt. Pulp Fiction. You guys like Pulp Fiction? Give me a thumbs up if you like Pulp Fiction. And then until we meet again, I just want to thank all of you guys for being here with me, talking this case, trying to theorize and figure it out. And I feel like once we go live again with an open panel and I've re-listened to everything again, I think my mind will be better once I get some sleep. So until the next one, thank you guys for being here with me. And as always, stay blessed, stay grinding, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.